Welcome to Book World. Today we meet Jonathan Oluwatodin Onipe, known as Omoara the Cheerful Poet. His debut collection, Boney, Spokesmen, speaks in many voices: love and praise, poverty and hope, dissatisfaction and the longing for change. Jonathan is not just a poet. He's a cultural architect, a mentor, disability advocate, and champion of marginalized voices. I am your host, Adrea Torhee. Join us as we peel back the layers of Boney Spokesmen, earlier poems, societal critique, random reflections, and of course explore how poetry can move hearts, spark healing, and imagine a turning point for Nigeria. Hello, Jonathan.
Hi, Andrea.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
Awesome. Always awesome.
Always awesome, as the cheerful poet that you are.
Yes.
So tell us about Boney Spokesmen. What inspired the title Boney Spokesmen? What does Boney signify, and who exactly are the spokesmen?
Okay, so Boney Spokesman was a funny attempt at being funny. Yes. It was, I saw an image, so the image that's on the cover page, I saw it, a random image on Google, and I was like, this is inspiring. And the next thing, the way we poets do, we sit on the image, it's like meditation. And I'm thinking about how, what if immortality was true? But with immortality, we're actually degenerating.
Okay.
So we get to a point where we've outgrown our years here, but then we didn't die. So we continue to degenerate, so we become bones. So that was where Boney Spokesman came from. I was just thinking widely, like, if you see the cover image, the cover page, you see a skeleton. You see a skeleton riding a bicycle, right? So, and the play on word was spokesman.
Yeah.
Bicycle. So we know our bicycle has spokes.
Okay.
Yeah, so there was a play on word there.
Yeah.
So,
Very creative play on word there.
thank you.
Wow, well done. Now, Boney Spokesmen is divided into three parts, right?
Yeah.
The early poem, societal critics, and what's the last part?
Yeah, it's just random poems.
Just random poems. Now, how do you move from one poem to the other? Was it like a flow for you when you were writing it, or it's just poems that you had written randomly and you decided to put them into the collection?
Okay, so if you, that's why it's separated. So for the early poems, there were poems before 2017.
Okay.
Yeah, so I titled them My Days in the Shell. This was before Expression. This was when you were just writing to keep, right? So you see poems like the very first poem I wrote. You see poems on issues around Almanjiri and all of that. Those were days where I just wrote for the paper before Expression came in, right? So, well, writing for the paper is also a form of expression, but then before the person who started to speak, right, talk about the poem. So, and then he moved into Boney Spokesman, where I now got into Expression. Right, so this was after 2017. I think I had my first successful stage performance in 2017 on my birthday, June 21st.
Lovely.
Yeah, so it was after then I started doing more, going out, reading out my poems. So poems written between then and 2019, you'll find in a different collection. And then for the last part of it, most of it were just to appreciate people in my life who had impacted me in one way or the other, my growth as a writer, and then my mom and God.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yes.
Now, can you tell us what else you do other than writing and poetry? Let's get to know Omoara the Cheerful Poet.
Yes, okay, so I'm glad you asked that. So I didn't start out as Omoara. I still started as Jonathan, right? So this was, but when Expression came in 2017, okay, so when I got into school, 2014, I started with Omoara. So there's a difference. Omoara and Omoara is different. There's Ara is thunder, and I was very much church.
So is that Child of Thunder?
Child of Thunder. So whereas the current name is Wonder. So then I was just a page poet, the person who lost love to this thing until I picked up and started expressing myself better, right? So poetry gave me a voice, and then I moved into performance poetry.
Okay.
So you can say now that I'm not just a writer, I'm also a performance artist.
Yeah.
So that's and then as I continue to progress, I think in 2021, I saw another need to improve what I do. So I started creativity for development, right? So I started using my creativity, my art, my poetry for social change, right? So I started guiding people, wanting to mentor people, wanting to push activities. And so you find me having a creative hangout, and then later that year, on next year in 2022, I had an event for myself. I called it the Rebirth, and then the Nigeria International Poetry Convention, and then I continued to birth other expressions too.
Okay.
So I am everything around the art and entertainment space.
Yeah, I also know about WAFCON, which I
Yes.
was a part of, Women in Arts, Film and Fashion Convention, which happened this year.
Yeah.
And also you have the TEDx Gwagwalada coming up. So tell us a little about this TEDx Gwagwalada coming up. Is it more for poets or just speakers in general?
Okay, so TEDx is a global thing.
Yeah.
So a lot of persons would know TEDx. So earlier in the year, I told myself, I said, okay, let's go back to. I kind of grew up in Gwagwalada. So after I moved, I haven't really done anything there. So I said, let's go back and try and this change we are driving. Let's go and change it at home. So, and then I applied for the TEDx license.
Okay.
And I got it, surprisingly. So again, I applied. I was like, let me just apply so that I can say I applied. I did not give me, but I got it. So TEDx, it's not just for poets. It's a space for everyone with bright ideas. Everyone who knows there's something they can do about where they are, and they are willing to do it. So speakers, poets, artists, dancers, anybody at all.
Wow, so that's daring to do something different. The fact that you dare to even apply for the license for Gwagwalada, it's very inspiring. And a lot of Nigerians are daring to do so many things these days, especially young Nigerians. And that's so good to see. Now, can you tell us, because your poems, they address a lot of things of hope, dissatisfaction, poverty, love. Now, what poem in particular do you think addresses hope as a turning point for Nigeria, and why?
Interesting. The very first poem. The very first poem I wrote, March 17, 2013.
It's amazing that you remember the
2013, yes, March 17, 2013, yes.
Okay.
So I was worried. I was worried that I was about to round up my secondary school, and I didn't really have a talent and all of that. So I was like, very religious person. I went to pray, and I woke up the next day saying things I did not know, right? So, and then I scribbled it down, and for the whole week, I kept on making alterations, took it to my literature teacher, showed my brother, who's like my biggest inspiration. He always told me to keep up what I'm doing. So, and yes, the first poem, A New Age, I titled it A New Age. That would be where I say there's a turning point or hope for a turning point in Nigeria. I don't know why I wrote it, because it talks about a president who will come and really change things. And at different times, I thought we have seen that president. I have argued for some certain presidents, and it is well. Yes.
Wow, that's nice. Can you say that there was any poem, while you were putting these collections together, there was any poem or a piece that you thought should not make it into the book, but then finally made it? Or because as creatives, there are some things that we feel are not perfect. Some things we see and we think that, okay, they're not complete. Maybe I should just add a little more here, a little more there. Was there any particular piece or poem in the book that did not almost make it to the final book?
Yes, there was. So it wasn't because it wasn't not complete, but because I was learning to express myself better. And so if there's the title is Naughty Auntie.
Okay.
Naughty Auntie is talking about sexual gender-based violence, SGBV, However, it's not touching it through the normal way we see SGBV. It's talking of the boy child being molested by a female. You know, it usually is reverse. Yeah, so Naughty Auntie I was like, guy, this is too bold. This is too bold, and the words are raw, they are vulgar if you read it. So this is too bold. What would your mother say? What would people say? Omara, spoil. Right, so I cancelled it out. I put it back. I cancelled it out. I put it back. And then the editor saw it and said, he loves this one. I'm like, okay, let's leave it. And that was it. So, Naughty Auntie.
That's interesting. Because gender-based violence is an issue that a lot of people fail to address head-on.
Yeah.
Some people, you know, try to move their way past it, but it's an issue that we need to address as a society.
Yeah.
So bringing it up in your book is quite interesting. So can you tell us what your writing process is like? Because now that you've mentioned Naughty Auntie, I wonder what the other poems are like. What's your writing process?
Okay, so my writing process is basically what every other person, every other creative would do. You see something, you love it enough, or you hate it enough. And you want to write about it.
Let the emotions spark.
Yeah, so it's poetry. Just poetry is defined as an overflow of emotions, right? So overflow of emotions poured into expression, right? So it's basically, like I said, you see something, you love it enough or you hate it enough, and then you sit with it, and you either allow it to love you or you allow it to hate you enough so that you can write about it. So there's always a battle, right? So, for example, Naughty Auntie, I had a few stories, right? I had a few stories about the boy child being molested, and I was still in school. I'm like, oh, this happens. And I hated the graphic images when I went to read about it, and I allowed it, the hate, get into me enough to be able to write Naughty Auntie. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Now, you also write about relationships. Familiar relationships, friendships, romantic.
Yeah.
How do you decide what moments to capture in your poem?
Okay, so writing about relationships, say love in itself, used to be my biggest flex. So if you want me to write anything, especially on the spot, tell me to write about love. I will do so with different words that you've not seen. You won't see in any of my books, right? So, and that was what I was known for. I was called a love poet at some point. God. And then, yes. Come again. Like,
what helps you? What moments do you decide to capture when you're writing these poems?
We don't decide. I don't think we decide it. I think it comes to us. I think it comes to us. So, okay, so I was coming here. While I was coming here, I saw a lot of things. So by the time I go back home, right, there'll be a replay.
In your mind?
Yes, there'll be a replay. So there'll be like light on a particular thing I saw. I didn't even notice the details. But when I go back, my mind is putting more light on it and everything. And then I'll choose to write. That's just it. So.
It's interesting how your mind works, because some of us, when we see things without carefully looking at it, we tend to forget what we saw. So you just seeing it passing through, and then when you go back, your mind replays it, and then you're actually looking at it in your mind. That's a gift.
Yeah, I think it's photographic memory, something they call it.
Yeah. Wow, interesting. Now, is there a poem here that you would like? I like one in particular, the one about smile.
Okay.
Smile, so that we would love for you to read that to us.
Okay, so I will smile. Let me find it. Oh, it came out. I guess the poem was to be read. Okay, so I'm going to give a little intro to the piece.
Yes, please.
I Will Smile was something I wrote, I think in 2019, and it was for a friend. we went through dark phases together, and we're very close. And she's doing amazingly well right now, and I hope she gets to hear this. Yes. So I wrote it for a friend, Torhee, and there was a picture I think she posted. She was smiling so broadly, and knowing with the face both of us were going through, I did not think she was to be smiling that much, and she was. And I realized that that's what we do, right? So we smile and we max up our pain and whatever it is. And so I wrote and we smile. And when I wrote it with this idea that I guess this is what people should really do: smile, just smile, right? So I'm Alohi. I've been put on the spot to read your poem. So I will smile, even if the only glow they see comes from my teeth. Even if they think nothing good could come from me, I will show them my best weapon and merge together my gold petrary teeth. Even if brown, I will still smile. I will smile, tilt my head back and forth, as though to hypnotize the troubled. I get them ensconced in the possibility of a promising future. Even if the future may fail, I will still smile. I will smile, hoping to put a jive in someone's vibe and save them from applicating in painful memorabilia. Even though my nobility may run with the winds, reminding me that nothing is paternal, I will still smile. I will smile, even if all I get are fond applauses from clerks, even if an Erebus grows around in cycles, seizing every spontaneity, yet I will smile, hoping it serves as a triacle and soften pain-filled bruxisms. I will still smile. Yes, I will smile. Thank you.
That is lovely. It has me smiling all through.
Yes.
Awesome, awesome. And it's great that it was inspired by a friend of yours. Yeah. She had read this already before.
Yes,
now.
She has.
Wow, that's lovely. Yeah. Now, can you tell us what poem in particular had people giving you feedbacks that surprised you?
Okay. Okay. Give me a minute. Let me look at the titles. I got a lot of feedbacks on some more. Yes, a lot of them.
Because tell me now about how it was inspired. I believe most of the poems were inspired by so many different people.
Yeah. So many different places. Events. Yeah. Okay, so I think it will be my love poems.
Wow.
Yes, so I got a lot of feedbacks on my love poems.
What kind of feedbacks or reactions did you get?
They want to use it and toast their own baby.
Wow.
They want to use it up till early this year. I'm already, I was like, please, come on, snap it and send it to me now. Send that. I'm like, So a lot of people felt it will really fly. They could use it to woo a babe. And at the point, I was like, I will make a start and they build them. So I got a lot of feedback on my love poems. And then I got a lot of feedback on Almanjiri.
Okay.
Almanjiri was an interesting story. I was heading to school one morning with our shuttle bus. And I was late for lectures. And the bus kind of broke down. And regardless of what was going on, how we were panicked and all of that, the Almanjiris on the streets were going through worse, but there was too much smile. There was a lot.
They were happy.
They were this and so, and they're always there. And I'm like, wow, that was inspiring. I didn't do anything. So once the bus picked up, a lot of persons had dropped. I stayed in the bus. So once the bus picked up, I was on my phone, and I typed Almanjiri. And I sat with it. Now, poetry does that thing to us. I sat with it till we dropped. Nothing. And by the time I was done with the day again, it played back. I was testing all of the boys, the ones who waved me, the ones I just stayed with, and all that. And I had what to write, so I put it down. And so there was a sequel to this. There's Almanjiri 2, and then there's Roadrunners, right? So all of it was from that day. So again, back to photographic memory. Just a single day of being able to pause, right? Because the bus spoiled for just 10 minutes. And I was able to write 3 different poems. So I wrote from my side how I see the Almanjiris and how their lives could be better. Then I tried to write from their eyes. And the Roadrunners were just where the Almanjiris are. this is Gwagwalada, by the way. So just where the almanjaris are, there is these persons, the cripples, right? So they have this board with tires where they slide on, right? And I find it really amazing because sometimes they race with themselves, and then I called it road runners.
Oh, okay.
Road runners, like, so I feel like they didn't have legs, but they were running. So I called it road runners, and it was I juxtaposed it with a wild animal. It's like a bird called roadrunner. Okay. So if you watch cartoons, you see the coyote and roadrunner from Looney Tunes. Yeah, so I imagine it's known for speed. The bird is known for speed, and I told myself that these guys are known for speed. We're not looking at it. We're not seeing it because it's speed in their eyes as much as you might be faster than them. So.
Wow, it's interesting how your imaginations work and your creative ideas just come to life.
Yeah.
Now we will go on a short break. We'll be right back with Jonathan Omara, the cheerful poet. Stay with us. Welcome back. We're still here with Jonathan Omara, the cheerful poet. Hi, Jonathan.
Hi.
It's so lovely to have you here and to, pick your brain and learn from your imaginative word. Now, I just want to play a very short game with you.
Okay.
I want to test your skills, your creativity.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to call out 3 numbers, number 1, number 2, and number 3. Each of these numbers represents different words. When you pick one of the numbers, I'll tell you what the word is. And with that word, you will give us a short poem, either from your mind or from the book Boney, Spokesmen.
Okay.
So pick a number, 1, 2, or 3.
1.
Hope.
Okay. I'll read my first poem.
Okay.
On Nigeria, because yes, earlier on we spoke about how it was about hope,
Giving
right?
hope to
or maybe I'll
Nigerians.
just read the preface of it. So the right of flowers of kings and queens, the right of bliss, of open fields and games, the right of the dead and gone, of peaceful sleeping into the other world, a right of Nigeria, of things about stuffs and stuffs about things.
Interesting. Can you summarize it a little bit? Just give us a little meaning to what you just read.
Okay, so if you look at it, right, the piece is not necessarily a poem. So there was something I did. I created intros before each part of the poem. It's divided into 3 parts.
Yes.
So this was me saying.
Is this the intro to the first part?
Yes, this is the intro to the first part. So this is me saying, well, I've read poetry on daffodils, on rivers, on things, and I'm like, I can't write about flowers. I have more pressing problems. Nigeria is on my neck. So, and I feel as a poet, you have a responsibility to use your poetry, your art, as for your own context, for what borders your context, right? So the meaning of this was basically people write of what they want to. People write of the dead. People write of open fields and games. I read a poem about golf. I'm like, why? Bro, why you wasting poetry? But yes, expression. Poetry is objective, they say. Yes. Yeah. So, but for me, I was saying I write of Nigeria.
Okay.
Of the things about stuff and the stuff about things. Yes.
That's an interesting line. Things about stuff and stuff about things.
And the reason for that was there's a lot of things about stuff. and a lot of stuff about
things. There's a lot of meaning into it. It's like when Nigerians say, omo.
Just know that.
Omo. Like it has different meanings to it, but it's just one word.
Yes.
I completely understand. You're a young writer.
Relatively young.
You're not old. I don't say you.
Well, I spent 3 decades, so.
You're relatively young.
Yes.
So what can you say to other young poets out there or young writers out there who are looking to publish their own books, who are looking to write their own books, who are looking to even start writing a poem or a piece of, literature, anything at all? What can you say to encourage them Because I know it must have not been an easy thing to just decide that you're going to put this book together and put it out there into the world, because you don't know how people are going to receive it, you know. So how can you encourage other young people?
Okay, so I would answer that, and then I'll give credits to those the publishers of this book. So please, for young poets, Nike slogan, we know the brown Nike.
Just do it.
Just do it. That's what I tell people. Anything you want to do, see, people will tell you it has not been done. That's the more reason you should do it. It has not been written before, write it. Nobody has gone to that place, go. Provided you are safe, just do it, right? Because the person who said I was going to go to the moon for the first time did it because no one had done it. The person who made the Orville and Wilbur Wright, the Wright brothers who made aeroplanes, did it because nobody had. So just do it. If you want to write, write. If you want to stop writing tomorrow and do something else, do it. Especially in your 20s. Enjoy, make all of the mistakes, do it, right? So, and then in doing it, right, depending on what you believe, God will always come true, right? Or the universe, as others say, would come true for you. So it was in writing, in just doing it. I actually applied for a competition in 2017 has to be like a very significant year. 2019, right? So very significant year. So I applied for a competition for Valentine poems, and I submitted on the last day.
Wow.
On the last day. And then I won. I won.
Interesting.
Poetry competition. I was the last day and I won. And that was how I got the publishing deal.
Wow.
So it came with prizes, some prizes, and a collection of the book. So there are 2 collections, right? So this is one. And then a deal to publish my book.
That's lovely.
So many thanks to Golin, right? Many thanks to them. They were awesome. Then I don't think I've heard from them in a while, but it was great to have them.
Wow, awesome.
Yeah.
It's great to have you here with us.
Thank you.
Now, Jonathan Oluwatodin Onipe reminds us that every poem is a voice. Sometimes broken, sometimes joyous, always searching. Boney Spokesmen stands as his debut collection, but its echoes are meant to be far-reaching to communities who suffer, who hope, who celebrate. Poetry isn't just words on paper. It's a bridge between hearts, a mirror for society, and a spark for change. Thank you for watching Book World. May Boney Spokesmen inspire you to speak, to listen, and to hope. I am Adrea Torhee. Until next time, keep your voice alive.